Hey, what's up, Geekbeef Tube Users? This is Andy from Geekbeef, and today we'll be looking at the XM Studios Venom Statue. You're watching Geekbeef Collectibles. Hiya, scoot! Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Andy Beef, and you're watching Geekbeef Collectibles. Today we'll be unboxing and taking a close-up look at the XM Studios Venom 1/4 scale statue. As you can see, starting out, XM Studios puts their statues in these pretty awesome packages. They use this really slick, heavy-duty, it feels like a faux leather type thing that they put over it. They package the corners with metal corner plates. Yeah, it's really awesome. You see it has the Marvel logo on the front, the XM Studios logo. Here on the side, you've got the little Spider-Man logo. It says Comic Edition there. The back side shows your edition number, Marvel.com, blah, 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 adults note. Collector's model, not suitable for children under 14 years. Keep your kids away from this bad boy. Same thing on that side. Let's start getting into it. As you can see, XM Studios wraps their statues in styrofoam as well as these black Velcro straps. They hold everything together, that way it doesn't slip open. There's no worry about tape around the edges that you have to cut off on these ones. Ta-da! All you have to do is remove the Velcro straps and work your way down in. One of the first things you're going to find inside the box is the collector's art piece that XM Studios includes with all of their statues. This one's got a really cool art print of the Venom design and statue itself that they used for the statue. I've already put mine inside a display picture frame to make it look real nice and fancy while it's hanging on my wall, being all Venom-like. You can see that there, up high, up close, back behind you. That's a bit much. It also includes the instructions on how to put the statue together, what pieces it comes with, assemblage hand bo okay. There's the instructions. Got several pages. Oh, look at that. Let's read this. Story time, guys.
Eddie Brock, a disgruntled ex-journalist in Spider-Man's jilted alien symbiote costume that he acquired in Secret Wars, became Venom, perhaps the most successful iteration of evil version of the hero in all of comics. He wages a campaign of torment against Peter Parker, invading his private life and threatening his loved ones. He is not altogether evil, though. He exhibits moments of compassion, like rescuing a little girl during a pitched battle with Spider-Man. He even ends up in a few enemy mine situations with him, generally to combat symbiote's child, Carnage, which has bonded with the serial killer, Cletus Cassidy.
Well, isn't that just interesting? More pictures. Ta-da! The styrofoam packaging comes in several pieces. It comes with the bottom section housing the base, the midsection housing Venom, and the head sculpts and extra pieces. Alright guys, we've got Venom here fully unboxed. This piece is gigantic. I already said gigantic in the last couple of videos. This piece is huge. I said that too.
This statue is enormous!
The detail to this piece is absolutely incredible. Most of the Venom designs, they always have the spider design on the front of the chest and the back popping out in a way. This one, they indented it, so it's actually put deep inside of his chest as an indentation into the symbiote. The tongue looks as if it's covered in saliva. It's not dripping with saliva. The teeth are very dry looking. You'd expect there to be some more wetness in his mouth other than just his tongue. Small thing, but it is something that you would see. The symbiote across him is very cool. They did it in a way it's like a mixture of veins and symbiote goo all over his body. I love the way they did this one. Some other versions of Venom the statues, specifically the most recent Sideshow Collectibles one they did, his skin is more of a crazed, flustered look of the symbiote. I prefer this smoothed out look. It's personal preference. They both look amazing. This one's definitely a little bit bigger. It's supposed to be a 1/4 scale statue. The size of this thing is what I would imagine to be well beyond 1/4 when you see it next to other statues. It really is crazy. My favorite part about this statue is the fingernails. They did this crazy design to the fingernails. They're shiny, they've got a glare to them. They look horrifying. If you got attacked by these things, they'd be gouging at your eyes. The base, I think the base is really cool. Just the history that it's showing for the symbiote itself. It's a broken clock face from a clock tower. It's got some gears put in there throughout it. When Eddie Brock first gets the Venom symbiote, he gets it from Spider-Man after Spider-Man gets it taken off using the clock tower. A lot of people do not like the
little baby symbiotes
here around the base. Luckily, XM Studios provided a way you can easily just remove them. They even included little pieces that'll go in places of where they sit to take place of the holes that are left there. So for people that didn't want the symbiotes attached to the bottom of the base, there is a secondary option. I think they look really cool. I've seen many different iterations of Venom and they don't hurt the piece in any way. Just something extra you can talk about, show people, present them with something fun and historical and crazy. Now, XM Studios, all their statues are exclusive. There is no one collector's version, one exclusive version. This piece comes with 3 different heads for Venom. This is the first and probably the most popular of which has his tongue sticking out in this crazy maniacal weave. Definitely one of my favorites, but there's some other head sculpts that are pretty amazing and we'll start looking at those now. The first of which will be the Todd McFarlane evil grinning Venom with his maniacal smile on his face. What's up? Now when you remove the tongue head sculpt, the tongue actually is magnetic and sits inside the mouth. So you can have this big open mouth. Here's the Todd McFarlane head sculpt. Very detailed and very specific to the Todd McFarlane piece. What they originally did with this statue was they released it with a head, but the bottom jaw jutted out a little further than what fans wanted. So they actually went back in and after they'd released the statue already, and they finished the head sculpt the proper way that they wanted it to be and reshipped the replacement heads to all the people that ordered the statue. Now that's a pretty stand-up thing for a company like XM Studios to do. I mean, they resculpted the Venom head in the way that fans wanted it and then re-release it to them. Very cool. This head sculpt is awesome. Sure, we all love the tongue. This one with the larger set eyes, grinning smile on his face. It goes back to that classic
I'm going to rip off Spider-Man's face and smile while I eat his brains.
look. This might be one of my favorite head sculpts of Venom. The tongue again inside his mouth looks wet, saliva-like. Again, the teeth don't look wet at all, but there's so many of them. Jagged and
Full of death.
I just love the way that his smirk and his smile goes all the way up the side of his head.
Side of his head.
As if he could open up his face at any time, revealing the Eddie Brock face, which is what we will show the next statue head sculpt of.
blah 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 words.
Now, not a lot of people use this face, but it's really cool that they still include stuff like this with their statues. That's something XM Studios always does, is they include something. A lot of people might not use it, but they include it anyways, and that's just a big stand-up thing for a statue company to do. This head sculpt is pretty awesome. You can see the craziness and the look of Eddie Brock as he's transforming into Venom, as if the face is just beginning to come over him and completely transform him into Venom. The eyes are whited out with some bloodshot redness to it. A really good design and style of Eddie Brock. Yeah, it's just a really cool piece to see. Now the pose for this statue I think is awesome. How high he stands, fully stretched out, ready to jump out, attack, but he's going in head first, like bite off people's heads. Bite people's heads off. Even the butt. Look at that. Come on, bro. You work out? One thing with this piece, people question the back spider. The way that the legs come out is very different. As far as they stretch down the sides, there's really long lines coming up his back, but then when you see it from the top, the beginning of the spider is just these tiny little starters and then these really long legs coming out of it. A lot of people did not like that design of the statue. It's on the back, and I don't often show the back of the statues when I display them. So for my collection, it looks fine. Something like that's not really gonna bother me. All right, as always, here I'm going to show Venom next to the Sideshow Collectibles 1/4 scale Spider-Man premium format statue. You can get an idea of the size of Venom next to Spider-Man in this piece. It's just really cool to see how big he actually is when next to Spider-Man. That's one of the huge things about Venom is so many designs of them are real small. They're not like up to scale with the way that we expect Venom to be in the comic books, as he's typically this gigantic, huge monster in the comic books.
Really horrifying.
A lot of the 1/4 size scale statues I've seen of Venom have been significantly smaller than what you would want them to be. This one is huge. Recently they were talking to Todd McFarlane about the Venom movie that had just come out. He said the one thing they got right with the movie is the size of Venom. He just wanted Venom to be huge, and that's something that they did show in the movie. And one of the better things in the Venom movie is the actual representation and design of Venom himself.
A fight to the death.
Ooh, that's scary. Alright, that's it for the size comparison. Let's get in there and get some close-up photos and videos of the Venom statue itself. Alright guys, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you've enjoyed our close-up and unboxing of the XM Studios Venom
1/4 scale.
statue. If you've enjoyed this close-up look of the XM Studios Venom statue, please check out our other things at Geek Beef. We have Geek Beef Collectibles, Geek Beef Entertainment, and Geek Beef Gaming here on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, check us out on Instagram, check us out on YouTube, check us out on Google search. Maybe you'll find something interesting about us. Don't look too closely, okay? It's been a lot of fun, guys. My name's Andy Beef, and this is Geek Beef Collectibles. I've had a lot of fun with you, and I hope you had a lot of fun. If you've enjoyed this close-up and unboxing of the Venoms, if you've enjoyed this close-up look of the Venom's XM, if you've enjoyed, check us out on Geek Beef. Check us out on Geek Beef at Facebook.